Sup, you chuckle fucks? It's your boy Dark Raikou here with What If Issei was a reincarnation of mostly Doflamingo Doxy. Now, this is part 1 of this What If. It might be the 600 special. I never actually thought of the 600 special. So I did, mostly the Hunger special. That was one shot, I think so. Was that one shot? Wait, I can't remember. So I'm still thinking of what to do for mostly the special for like the 600, because you see here mostly 200, 300, and even 500 were not special. Well, they were special. They were the mostly 500. Well, not 500. Mostly the special of either 200, 300, or 500. But there were mostly series that I never continue on. So I might have to continue on for the 200, because mostly the 200 is basically What If Issei was a revenger. 300, I have no clue what to do with it. Not really. The fuck. I haven't actually read some of the webtoons, so I'm just trying to continue to reread them and then just go back. But of course, maybe I'm just gonna discontinue the 300 one. The 500 one, yeah, I might just discontinue it or redo it, and discontinue it and then redo it later on when I actually do read fully the Madaka box one, because mostly manga is not my specialty of reading. I literally get distracted too easily and kind of go somewhere else. But not the point. I don't know why webtoons just give me a one-span mindset, but yeah, because that's how literally my mind works. But not the point. Sorry about rambling on. Let me begin into this What If. Let me shut the fuck up. So this used to be mostly, this What If is actually a redo, kinda-ish. It's mostly, it was the What If that was called What If Issei was tossed away. But of course, I instead just changed it to What If Issei was a reincarnation of Doflamingo. Mostly I changed also the Issei picture somewhat. So those red lines, I tried to make them into strings, mostly white strings, but then I realized it's a white fucking background image, and when I try to erase it, it will also erase this, erase. It will erase the strings, but yeah, not the point. So that's why they're kind of red lines, but yeah. I know, I kind of thought I did better. Not the point. I'm rambling on right now, but let me begin this What If, and let me shut the fuck up. So I'm not going to continue on where I kind of last left off, but What If Issei was tossed away. Instead, I might just make this its whole complete different series from that What If, because I never did this, never did continue on. I might just discontinue it. It might just delete it off my channel, but yeah, I might just continue some like What Ifs and then continue them back on later on, like the Sukuna one. Though, What If Issei was the reincarnation of Sukuna? I never did a thumbnail on that one, and that's why I was a little bit confused if I did a What If on that, because I remember it, but it was like iffy, like very iffy. Then I just remembered that I didn't make a thumbnail for it, so of course I just went to my YouTube studios to kind of check that on, and I was like, oh shit, I did one. I just never continued it on because I never made a thumbnail. Damn, I'm an idiot. But yeah. Also, there was another one that I was thinking, like, did I make one for Blackbeard? Because I was thinking of mostly all the villains for some reason. And of course, I was thinking, did I make one for Blackbeard? And then I realized, yes, I did one, but that was mostly What If Issei, mostly loved ones hated him. Like, truly hated him. And of course, I did that mostly he was the reincarnation of Blackbeard, but I never did a thumbnail neither for that one. And then I thought for Shigaraki, and then I just did one, but I did it as a one-shot. So basically, it was called What If Issei was the incarnation of destruction. Basically, thinking of Shigaraki. But yeah. So if you guys never seen those kind of 3 What Ifs, I will not leave a link to the description. You're just gonna have to find it through my channel. They're just randomly there. Maybe I put them. Maybe if I figure out how to do that, but not the point. Let me begin into this What If. Let me shut the fuck up. I already took 3 minutes of your damn time. Actually, make that 4. Yeah, let me just, 4, yep. Other than that, let me begin into the What If, and let me shut the fuck up. So we begin into mostly, a brownish hair boy right now with goldenish brown eyes fighting against a black hair girl with mostly magenta kind of eyes and pale skin. She has 2 crow wings behind her, and this is where, she has 2 rings on her fingers, mostly in her kind of like right side or left side finger. This is where, she also has a kind of light spear, making it mostly made 2 light spear to smash into the boy's legs. And of course, the boy was trying to struggle up to get up, and this is where he says, "You bitch, I won't forgive you. Give them back to Asia." This is where, mostly raven hair girl kind of says, no, can't do. No, I really do like these rings, and they're gonna be mine forever. I'm not giving them back," she said in a very bitchy tone. This is where, well, we'll see the brown hair boy is right now enraged, and this is where, well, his eyes almost went completely red for a second, but this is where, well, he just kind of calmed himself down, or, well, mostly he didn't calm himself down. He was still enraged. His eyes did go red for a second, which scared mostly the red hair girl, and of course for some reason also kind of got unnerved with mostly this aura of energy kind of coming off from the boy. But this smart mom, mostly Issei, mostly the brown hair boy is named none other than the perverted trio member being Issei Hyodo, and of course the girl is none other than Rainer, or mostly just Rainer. Of course she doesn't have a last name. This is where, well, she kind of just looks unnerved with Issei until mostly Issei is praying to now the devil god. He's saying, damn it, Satan, if you hear me, give me the strength to beat the shit of this damn bitch. This is where, well, because he doesn't believe in God and since he's the devil, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly Rainer says, what are you talking about there? You can't defeat me. This is where, well, mostly Issei gets up and rushes at mostly Rainer. Of course, the sacred gear that involved to be in the boosted gear. And this is where, well, mostly Rainer tries to fly away, but this is where, well, mostly, not Rainer, mostly Issei managed to punch her in the face. And of course, she did try to fly away, but this is where Issei managed to grab one of her wings. And of course, she was like saying, let go. Of course, and mostly just angry and of course, mostly hurting tone because her wings are the most kind of, mostly every person's wings is mostly in the DXC world is kind of always the weakness point towards them, but yeah. So of course Issei didn't know about this, but he didn't care. He then punched the shit out of Rainer, launching her out of the window and knocking her out of the window. Of course, this is where, well, Issei was about to fall down until mostly Kiba managed to catch him, but yeah, mostly a blonde haired boy with kind of bluish eyes. And this is where he had a mole somewhere in his face. I forgot where it was. Fuck, I don't remember. I don't care. But mostly he just says, what the fuck did it take you so long? This is where, well, mostly Issei couldn't really think of anything to insult him because he was too damn tired. This is where he would say, sorry about that, Issei-kun. Mostly, President, mostly Butcher, they told me to kind of stay back. This is where, well, he says, what the fuck, why? In his head, he's like, why the fuck would you do that? Wouldn't I just die? Issei, for some reason, his mind was actually turning gears, but yeah. You see here, Issei is not stupid in this one. He might be a little bit perverted, yes, he's still kind of a pervert, but he's not stupid in this one. He actually does have a brain that actually works instead of actually thinking of opie and other things for mostly a long time. Mostly, he always considered himself smart. The problem is he never showed it off because, well, he was never the type to actually try too much. Pretty much everything that he learns in school, it was kind of boring. But of course, he did pick up some interesting information that he might use. For some reason, he was leaning more to becoming a, well, something interesting, maybe like a businessman, and when he grew up. But this is where, well, he was now dragged to the supernatural, so of course his business idea might have went out the window, but yeah. This is where, well, we'll see Issei is just tired, and this is where, well, he's just thinking more, like, why the fuck did she? This is where, well, we'll see Rias and even Akano appears behind, like, opening the door, and of course, this is where, well, Hanako also brings the raven-haired girl, mostly named Rainer, and this is where Rainer says, you can't, you won't defeat me. I have others here. This is where, well, Rias says, oh. Mostly the red-haired girl is named Rias, mostly with bluish eyes. Well, bluish-greenish eyes and has kind of like pale skin. Her name is Rias Gremory. And this is where, well, she then says, oh, are you talking about these? She drops out some feathers from her hand. And they were all different colors, mostly a black still. There are different types of shade of black. This is where, well, mostly Rainer widened her eyes and horrified. Now, Rias isn't just standing alone. Right now, next to her is Akano Hinjuma, who is actually a girl with kind of like longish, raven, kind of bluish, blackish hair, similar to that Raven, well, not Raven, mostly Rainer's hair color. She also has magenta eyes, similar to that of Rainer. This is where, well, she also has a very nice, busty figure, and of course, a little bit taller than Rias herself. Kind of. I think she was around 5'9", while Rias was 5'8". Wait. Okay, never mind. Mostly Rias is actually 5'8", while Akano is actually 5'6". Oops, I mistake that. For some reason, in the anime, it basically looks like she's taller. She literally looks taller. I don't know, maybe that's just because of the hair. But not the point. Of course, yeah, I'm rounding on right now. Mostly, she also is mostly the queen of Rias Gremory, and this is where, well, so yeah, she already named her name. Her name is Akano Hinjuma, but not the point. Now, a short white-haired girl with kind of golden eyes actually appears, the one to actually drag Reina. Her name is Konako, who's actually the rook of Ria's Grammar. Kiba's the knight, while Issei's the 8-pawn piece. Well, yeah, 8-pawn piece. Yeah, I already said that. Sorry, I might be saying things twice because I'm a little tired, maybe not. I mean, I am going to try to go to sleep somewhere around 2, but not the point. This is where, well, mostly Issei kind of just looks at, well, mostly the whole situation. This is where, well, mostly Rias explains that Issei is not, what's it called, just a twice critical user, but the boosted gear, the Red Dragon Emperor boosted gear. This is where Reina was insulted the fact that she actually lost to the mostly perverted boy, who actually has the most powerful sacred gear and is a laryngitis type. This is where, well, she's screaming, no, that's impossible. This is where Rhea smirks, while mostly Reina was thinking of a way and how to get out of here, until she then thought of it. She had the most evilish smirk on her face. Well, mostly a little bit of an evil smirk, but this is where, well, she tried to cry out for Issei until mostly Issei didn't really want to help her at all. Mostly looked away, while mostly Reina realized that she was actually out of options until she thought of something else. She then kind of just says, oh, Issei, have you ever thought of how you got reincarnated? This is where Issei looks at her with a confused look. Of course, where Kiba also looks confused because mostly he was told, just like the others, that Rias kind of just like asked him to kind of appear. Mostly just to kind of appear and reincarnate him. Mostly Kiba wasn't there that day, mostly when Konako and Akano were there with Rias because he went to do a contract. So of course he was confused. He was also curious in how he was reincarnated because Issei didn't really talk about how he was reincarnated entirely. This is where, oh, Issei kind of said, what are you talking about? Issei kind of said in a very kind of annoyed, angry tone for a second until mostly Reina kind of flinches, but this is where she keeps going. Do you know how you got reincarnated? Do you remember how? You see here, even I didn't know that you were going to get reincarnated after I kill you. You think that was my plan? No. You see here, have you ever felt or even thought of maybe having a piece of paper from a devil? Probably she knew about your death. Why do you think we fallen angels were here in the territory for so long? Maybe the red-haired girl right here, the devil, knew about us and didn't do anything. She tried to play her cards right, and this is where, well, mostly Issei thinks about it more, and this is where, well, his face becomes darkened in an instant. His eyes actually went to the shiny red color for a second. This is where, well, his hair started kind of floating up a little bit, and this is where, well, mostly Issei was now thinking more. So the day when he went to go out with Reina, he actually did get a contract from some kind of cosplay or whatever. Of course, he didn't think it too much. He shoved it into his pocket and then saw Reina, or also, you know, Yuma Mano. But yeah, this is where, well, he then kind of had a great day. And of course, he always had this feeling when he was on the date to be getting watched. For some reason, he also did remember that he saw Konako in one of the shops looking at him, but he was thinking that that was impossible because why would Konako be spying on him unless it was Konako, Akano, and even Ria's plan to kind of let him die so he would be reincarnated and be you. This is where, well, he mostly froze in an instant, looking at mostly Rias, well, not Rias, mostly looking at Reina with such an emotionless look that right now made Reina shut up in an instant because she probably would have died. This is where, well, Issei's mostly look was mostly a very angry, mad, well, not angry, mostly an emotionless look, completely emotionless. This is where, well, his eyes were kind of red for a second. This is where, well, mostly Rhea said, shut up, fallen angel. You do not need to. This is where Issei says, shut up, both of you. This is where, well, made both Rias and even Reina shut the fuck up because, well, mostly Issei's tone was darker than ever. This is where Issei's mind right now just started spinning faster. The gears started working faster. He is not a dumbass, like I mentioned. He's quite smart. So, of course, he figured out all of this in an instant. He realized that the fallen angel should have been should have gotten rid of when they went rogue from whatever leader bullcrap they got, or whatever. It should have also started a war between the devils and the fallen angels, but the devils are quite strong, as shown by Rias easily taking out some of the fallen angels group members, so it wouldn't be a problem to take them out. But no, instead he was actually killed. And if you can actually think about this right, the fallen angel should have been here about even a month, because mostly Rainer wouldn't just go up to him and just talk to him, unless she just decides to use that perverted antics that he uses most of the time. This is where, well, Issei's thinking about it more and more and more. This is where, well, Issei's right now just fully emotionless look. This is where, well, Issei said, so, is that how you wanted to play? This is where, well, mostly Rei says, Issei couldn't shut up. This is where, well, Issei said with such an emotionless tone, but of course a very angry tone at the same time. Mostly emotionless look, why angry tone. This is where, well, Rias kind of shivers at mostly that look from Issei. It kind of reminds her of Sir Zex when he was kind of pissed, but she never did get the wrath of her brother. No. Which is luckily, but not the point. This is where, well, she is kind of nervous. While mostly Rainer's also very unguarded and nervous with Issei. This is where, well, the boosted gear is not glowing too much. He's not using boost at all. This is where, well, he then says, I see. So was I just a fucking toy for you to use? That's what I was. Just a red shiny dragon emperor. Just like how you mentioned. That's what I was. This is where Issei is chuckling so evilly and darkly. This is where, well, mostly it kind of made everyone unnerved, even Kiba. Kiba was right next to him, and mostly Issei did let go of Kiba. This is where, well, mostly Issei was like, so that's what I was for just you. Someone to be used like a fucking pawn. I knew that the pawn was useless as hell. I knew that everything was complete bullcrap. Issei was laughing. He keeps chuckling. This is where, well, everyone's so unnerved. This is where, well, Kaneko decides to rush at him because this would probably be bad. And this is where, well, mostly Rei says, Kaneko, wait! This is where, well, Issei noticed this. And this is where, well, Issei just slapped the shit of her in an instant. This is where, well, he didn't notice that he covered his hand with this, like, blackish kind of cloak. Or whatever the hell it was. And it actually managed to destroy Kaneko so easily, knocking her out so easily. This is where Issei said, so you dare to attack me. I knew it. You're nothing but just bastards. I'll make all of you pay. I'll show everyone that I will become the strongest. You will not just make me bow down to your will. I am a true demon. I will become the heavenly demon himself. This is where, well, purplish energy erupted from his body in an instant. Right now, just smashing into Kiba. Right now, Rias and even Akano, they did not have a very strong will. Rainer did, but this is where, well, she was scared for shitless. This is where, well, it knocked out the hell out of all three of them in an instant. This is where, well, mostly Issei started walking up to Rainer in an instant. Right now, cracking the ground every step that he goes towards, mostly Rainer. You. This is where, well, Issei said with such a murderous tone in his voice. This is where, well, mostly Rainer said, yes? This is where, well, Issei says, I should fucking kill you. But you know what? I'll let you suffer. Well, what are you talking about? I'll let you fucking suffer. Because I want to see that very fearful look again. Because I'm not killing you now. Issei crouched down in an instant. Still this energy is pulsating off of him. He wasn't releasing all of it. He instead grabbed, what's it called, Rainer from the chin and lifted her up. Looking straight into his eyes. They're completely right now crimson red. Right now, very, very dark crimson red. They're quite crimson. This is where, well, most Issei said with a very vicious grin on his face. I'll let you live for now. But, right now, this is where, well, Issei right now kind of just said, other than, well, for right now, other than that, when I come back, I'll make sure to make your life a living hell. Issei said in a very murderous, but very, very killer intent. Well, not, yeah, very murderous and very menacing somewhat. This is where, well, mostly Rainer gulps and say, no, just kill me. Just, this is where, well, Issei right now kind of grabs her face, mostly her back of the head, and this is where Rainer was confused, until Issei smashed her to the ground and then into knocking her out. This is where, well, mostly because he realized that his energy that he's just pulsating out of him, realized it wasn't knocking out Rain. It was knocking out slower, but not much faster. This is where Issei then walks up to mostly Ozzy Argento and picks her up. Issei said, "When I come back." This is where, well, Issei said, towards no one, but mostly Issei says, "When I come back, I'll make all of you pay. I'll make sure that I kill every single motherfucker that was mostly planned my death." This is where, well, Issei walks away. This is where, well, Issei was very angry and enraged. This is where Issei goes up towards mostly somewhere to, well, mostly bury Azia. But for some reason, he had this instinct that someone was actually watching. This is where, well, Issei was so angry and annoyed that someone was watching them. This time, he would murder the person. Issei walked away from mostly Azia, but only hide in the bushes. Now, of course, since he doesn't know how to use magic or anything, mostly Drake wanted to say something, but this where, well, Issei walked into the tree line. Looked like if he walking away, but he just hide behind a tree. For some reason, he had this instinct to tell him that someone was actually watching. For some reason, he can sense them. Not because of their magic and energy signature. No, it was because of something else. He noticed a person now walked out. It was a person with blackish hair, a blackish kind of coat, like fur coat, and of course, this is where, well, it looked blackish because it was the dark, and this is where, well, it was actually bluish. But this is where, well, he had his eyes closed and he was walking towards most of the place that Ozzy was kind of left on the ground. This is where, well, he was grinning towards mostly seeing Ozzy's body, until before he even gets to do anything, Issei was already upon him. He didn't let this man react or any of that. Issei right now swing his hand down so fast, doing this out of purely fucking instinct, and just to murder and slaughter this person. He swing his hand down, but mostly instead of being like a punch, it was an open hand. But had his hands like if it was going to claw the hell out of this person. No, but small little strings appeared. And this is where, well, it came out of mostly like an instant, a memory from a past life. This is where, well, Issei say, Ito no me. String heavily slash. This is where, well, mostly Issei swings down. Before even the blue hair person can react, mostly he had basically 5 slashes on his chest in an instant. But they actually cut through so fast, because the strings didn't just turn white, they were black in an instant but turned fiery. This is where, well, it was called heavily flaming slash, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly he just cut the hell out of mostly this person. It was none other than Diodora. But this is where, well, Diodora is going to die early, but fuck it. This is where, well, mostly Diodora was cut into mostly 6 pieces in an instant. This is where Diodora turned into nothing but ash after a while. This is where, well, Issei was pissed and annoyed, seeing that how this bastard of a devil, high-ranking devil, whoever the fuck he is, dared to go after Azia. This is where, well, instead of burying her here somewhere, because he probably thinks that mostly Rios will try to reincarnate her, he would take her with him. This is where, well, he doesn't know how to even take her with him, but he will figure it out later. And this is where, well, Diedrich, who is actually the heavenly dragon who's watching this, is still not mostly able to connect with his partner, but after this awakening in power, he managed to, but he was just staying quiet. He wanted to see how his partner would react later on. But we go into basically a 1 month time skip, or not, yeah, basically a 1 month time skip. Mostly Issei was gone. He was completely gone. You see here, his parents were extremely worried about him, but they did not know what to do. This is where, well, Kiba was quite upset with mostly Rias, Akano, and mostly Konako, and the fact that mostly whatever happened to Issei. Mostly he woke up after a while, but he was quite obsessed with mostly Rias, Akano, and even Konako for mostly their actions. They take place in literally hurting someone who was kind of mostly nice, but he was a pervert, but he wasn't too bad. Well, he didn't mouth Kiba too much. He was sometimes just angry, just annoyed with Kiba's actions. This is where, well, it kind of annoyed him and how mostly Rias wanted to take the easy way by getting a Longitis user by kind of hoping they died so she can reincarnate them and get their loyalty and turning loyalty because they were perverts and what. But this is where he realized more that Issei wasn't entirely a pervert. He only hung out with those two guys because they were actually quite interesting. At the same time, they were the only people that actually understand Issei. They were the only people. While they were only called a pervert trio because Issei wasn't entirely, but he just wanted understanding friends. So of course, mostly Kiba also wanted to have understanding friends. So of course, he did kind of build a friendship with mostly Issei. It wasn't entirely there, but it was going to become much better later on. Until he found out what truly happened to Issei in his reincarnation. So instead of mostly kind of helping Rias in her marriage, which he still want to, kind of, but not much. He's not training to save Rias, but instead training to get stronger by himself. Because he realized that Issei left. So Issei is either going to be counted as a stray, or he's going to probably die because he doesn't really have a master or any of that. So of course, mostly Kiba doesn't know what to do. Should he be trained to become stronger or what? He then realized how he easily kind of almost lost to Freed most of the time. If it wasn't there for Konoko's help, he would have lost in an instant from mostly just Freed alone. Freed was skill, and of course, mostly would have easily took him out. So of course, mostly Kiba realized that he should just start training, becoming stronger. He realized that Issei was ruthless. He became much more ruthless after a while. Well, mostly after he was just watching him. Because mostly Issei was chuckling evilly and darker, and of course he was using his brain, and it seems that he actually understood what Rainer was talking about. Now, does it work well? Mostly Kiba was just thinking about how mostly Issei was. Now, we go into mostly everyone who was in the school. Not really many people were affected for Issei being gone for 1 month, or has probably died. Not many people really cared, but yeah. Until this one incident appeared. Mostly a certain day actually appeared. Mostly someone was walking through mostly walking through the academy. A tall mostly a tall person. He looks to be somewhere around 7'5", or not even 7'5". He looks to be around 6'9". And this is where, well, he was quite fucking tall. This is where, well, he had blondish but blackish hair at the same time. Blondish kind of golden bangs around his hair. They looked like he died, but it still kind of had black kind of highlights. This is where, well, he also had mostly these shades on that were kind of, for right now, they're blue, but not the point. This is where, well, he also had a kind of like this flamingo outfit. Mostly not outfit, flamingo kind of like coat on him. Of course, it were, well, or not flamingo coat. Mostly he had a purple coat on, black shirt, black pants, and even like a purple belt, but not the point. He also had black like shoes, and this is what, well, he was walking. Well, he wasn't 6'9", he was actually like 6'3". I'm gonna just change it back to 6'3", but yeah. He isn't as tall as his original life because he actually remembers his original life. This is where, well, the person had kind of tannish skin, very tannish skin, but of course he had a very dark presence about him. You should not fuck with him because you will probably get killed in an instant. That's what his like aura release. This is where, well, he also had for some reason draconic energy signature, but this is where, well, not many people understood exactly who was he because not many people could see his eyes. Of course, where, well, he had a very emotionless look in his face, like he wasn't smiling or any of that. When he looked around, he really gave people very unnerved looks. Mostly thanks to the fact that you couldn't see his eyes. But this is where, well, mostly this person just keeps walking, and of course, well, he decides to get to his first class. But before going to his first class, this is where, well, he actually bumped into someone with mostly blackish raven hair, and of course having magenta eyes. The person growls at this like tall motherfucker because this person's quite tall, and of course before this person can even walk away, her hand was grabbed in an instant. This is where, well, she growls at the person. This is none other than Rainer. She's actually still alive, but actually turned into a devil. This is where she's growling at the person. The person right now kind of releases very weird energy that actually made her kind of right now submit in an instant. Submit because this energy was familiar, quite familiar. She didn't just forget about the energy that Issei released on that church day. This is where, well, she was actually kind of scared of this person in an instant. Is this This is where, well, she wanted to say his name out loud, but this is where, well, mostly she then felt like if she said something, her neck will probably be cut off in an instant. This is where she then stayed quiet in an instant. But of course, she was scared. She would have to report this towards mostly Ria's Grimory, even though she hates Ria's with a fucking passion. But this is where, well, mostly Issei, well, yes, it was Issei, but Issei walks back to the classroom that he needs to go. When he walks in, he literally just walks in and doesn't care. He gets to the seat that he needs to take. This is where, well, everyone was confused in an instant. Even the teacher. The teacher said, are you a part of this school class, sir? This is where, well, mostly the person looks up. Of course, his eyes were covered up by shade, so of course, well, like, this is where, well, mostly the person kind of just asked. This is where, well, most of the man himself says, of course, can you not remember me, Mr. Xylan? This is where, well, mostly Issei calls this person Mr. Xylan because that's actually his last name. This is where, well, mostly Xylan says, who are you? My name is Issei Hyodo. Well, not Issei Hyodo entirely. Hyodo is well, he does say that his name is still Issei Hyodo, but he goes for a different name. But he's not gonna say it right now. Everyone widened their eyes in an instant, right now looking at Issei, the new Issei. Issei looks completely different. He looks more like a, well, Issei looks more completely different because he kind of looks more like a punk, a criminal boss, literally, kind of. But at the same time, he's not perverted, kind of. And it made kind of some of the girls kind of interested in Issei. But Issei wasn't interested in any relationships at all. Nothing. Nada. He didn't care at all. Does it work? Well, Issei just looked at his phone once to see how much time it would be until the class ended. And this is where, well, it would take like 55 minutes. Issei decides to just take a nap. This is where the teacher asked him to take off his glasses, but this is where Issei literally gave him the finger and just say fuck off. Just continue the damn classroom. I'm paying attention. Really, Issei was not paying attention. This was literally science, and he did not give a damn. Because mostly science is not his specialty. He doesn't care. But yeah. Other than that, we go into mostly a time skip of mostly Issei going through each of his classes, and of course every class widened their eyes when they realize this is Issei. But this is where, well, mostly Issei's two friends named mostly Matsuda and Murahama kind of appear next to him, saying, yo, Issei, are you okay? Issei kind of just says, huh? I'm perfectly fine. How about you two? This is where, well, they said, we're okay, but what happened to you? Why are you taller than normal? Also, why is your hair different? This is where, well, mostly Issei said, I change. I realized that my pervert antics will not get me anywhere in life. I do not care about relationships right now. Right now, I care about the future of my life. I do not care about getting a girlfriend in any event. I tried, and I realized I would never be able to. So I stopped. Instead, I don't care about that. For right now, I care about growing my business. This is where, well, mostly his friends say business. Wait, but aren't you like 17, the same age as us? You can't have a business at this age, can you? Issei looks at them. Right now, it has a very darkish, very evil smile and says, oh really? Do you think you can have a business at 17? What if I say that you can, but it's not illegal, you see here? This is where, well, mostly both of his friends wind his eyes and say, what are you talking about, Issei? Issei says, if you guys say anything, I might have to accidentally kill you. This is where, well, both of them gets very unnerved with Issei's tone. But this is where, well, Issei says, I'm just kidding. Let's just go to class. This is where, well, Issei kind of walks away, but yeah. Now, we go into mostly lunchtime because mostly Issei was called in by mostly Sona. Or not Sona, mostly he was called in by, well, Ryu's Grimory to kind of go to the occult research club. This is where, well, it was none other than what's it called, Kiba bringing him. But of course, this is where Kiba sees that Issei is completely different. He changed entirely. Issei just looks like a complete different person. This doesn't seem like the same Issei. He's taller. He's much more stronger. Of course, you can see it through his shirt, kind of, but not much. Of course, well, he seems much more respectful, but at the same time, not respectful. But yeah, He has shades on that seems like he can easily see, even though he's inside, but whatever. Now, they get to the Occult Research Club, and this is where, well, Rias kind of says, Issei. So, how's it this where he says, cut the bull crap, what the hell do you want? Actually, no, better idea. I quit this damn club, bitch. This is where, well, Issei said in an instant. This is where, well, mostly Rias won her eyes and said, but, you're still a part of your barrage? Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh if I'm a part of your damn barrage, which I'm not. Issei goes to his coat, grabs these like 8 palm pieces that are broken and that has really no energy inside them, and just throws them right in front of mostly Ria's kind of like desk. Ria's right now wine her eyes, even Akano. Kiba kind of notices and wine his eyes. He never expected Issei to ever be able to kind of remove the palm pieces. He had 8 of them, and they were quite painful even if he tried to remove them. Rainer notices and realizes that Issei is completely different. He's no longer the type of person to be a devil associated with any of the devils, meaning that he's just probably just straight up human. But for some reason, she still has this very uneasy kind of like feeling that if she does anything to him, she will die for some reason. But of course, well, Issei said, other than that, bitch, I quit this fucking club. You either accept that or you go shove it up your you know where, because I won't tell you that. Unless you're too fucking stupid to understand what I'm talking about, you dumb bitch. This is where almost Rias was shocked. She was even more shocked with Issei's tone, attitude. Everything changed entirely. This is where, well, Issei got mostly up from mostly the desk because he did slam both of his hands into it. And this is where, well, Issei then gets up, and this is where, well, Issei says, other than that, hey, Kiba. Kiba looked up and said, huh? You know, you should stop just pretending to be weak. You know, you should just train. And maybe become a high-class devil so you can get out of this bitch's barrage. Or you can go rogue. Go look for your actual goal and dream, because I know for a pretty boy, you probably have goals, dreams to do something. You're probably like a revenger or something. Go do something like that. This is where, well, Kiba snapped out of mostly his, like, mostly boy, being a kind of, like, assistant, like a knight for some reason. And actually started acting a little bit similar like the Revenger, because Issei did tell him about that. He was shocked to even believe Issei knows about that, but the Issei just said to do whatever the fuck he needed to do, because he's the only other male that Issei could actually kind of trust a little bit, because he knew the knight was kind of always truthful, even if the knight didn't know too much about what happened. This is where, well, Issei kind of just walks away in an instant. This is where Issei noticed Rainer and had a very satisfied kind of grin on his face, saying, well, pathetic bitch. Well, now you're a devil. How does it feel like to be a devil? Maybe you can just go suck someone off because you're such a fucking slut. This is where, well, mostly Rainer glares at Issei, but was scared to do anything. If she does anything, she would probably get her neck cut off. For some reason, that was the same instinct kind of going through her head. This is where, well, she kind of looks away. Issei says, don't look away from me, bitch. This is where, well, mostly Issei wanted to slap the shit out of her. But this is where Issei refrained from doing it. Instead, he got up and walked away. Mostly because he was like putting his hand right in front of mostly Rainer's kind of chair. But instead, he decided to walk away, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly everyone was just left there dumbfounded. Konako was left dumbfounded because she thought that mostly Rios would be able to manipulate him by using her opiate, but that didn't work. Instead, Issei was quite violent as hell. She even had this weird energy signature that if she does anything, she will also get killed. This is where, well, mostly we go into a time skip with Issei getting to lunch and of course talking to his friends. He just told them that he basically just quit the ORC because they are nothing but complete bastards. This is where, well, they're shocked. And they tried to ask him, but Issei didn't really want to answer why. But other than that, I'm getting tired as fuck, so I'm actually gonna go to sleep. So yeah, other than that, bye, see you, and yeah, I'm gonna go, bye.